Hello and welcome to Benue Television News at 9. My name is Mercy Upa. The headlines: Stakeholders call on federal government to develop Makudi River Port. President Tinubu assigns new heads for near DSS, and from the foreign scene, 21 civilians killed in Mali drone strikes. Benue State Governor Reverend Hyacinth Elia is set to welcome the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Shetima, to Benue State Tuesday, August 27, 2024. In a press release by the Governor's Chief Press Secretary Sokula, the Vice President is expected to arrive in Makudi, the state capital, around 10 a.m. for a one-day state visit. While in the state, Shetima shall commission a gigantic Benue fashion hub and the Benue printing house, both located in the state capital. Recall that during his last visit to the state for the inauguration of the expanded National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises (MSME) clinics in Makudi, tagged Benue Open for Business, Shetima said President Ahmed Tinubu was set to establish a world-class fashion hub in Benue State. He said the project is a fulfillment of Tinubu's promise of job creation and accessible capital to Nigerians, and also homage to the unparalleled spirit of industry that defines the people of Benue State. He had also promised that the ultra-modern fashion hub would be furnished with all modern equipment. Governor Alia, who undertook to provide land and construction the needed infrastructure for the hub, has already fulfilled his side of the bargain, hence the Vice President's visit. The Governor therefore invites the public, particularly business community, stakeholders and party faithful, to join him in welcoming the august visitor to the state. Commissioner, Ministry of Education and Knowledge Management, Dr. Frederick Ken, has emphasized the resolve of the ministry to observe zero tolerance for negligence to duty. Dr. Ken made this known Monday during a press briefing at the State Secretariat in Makudi. Correspondent Manasseh Anangochia was there and now reports.
As part of efforts to reposition the ministry through posting of staff for more effective performance, the Ministry of Education and Knowledge Management has charged staff to respect work conditions. During the briefing, Commissioner for the Ministry, Reverend Dr. Ikan, announces suspensions of the area education officers of Boko, Kwande, and Buruku local government areas for refusal to proceed on posting. Dr. Ikan then approves the postings of area education officers and departments, saying the move is in line with the earlier administration's zero tolerance for indiscipline. He says the ministry shall be applying full weight of public service rules number 04401 to any officer who fails, refuses, or neglects to proceed on posting.
But having stayed here for one whole year, I think it is time to reposition the ministry so that we can move forward. I consider this as re-engineering the ministry, because some of the reforms, so to say, will affect quite a number of staff and even our outstations. It is in their interest to proceed on the postings within the period specified in the posting letter. 2. Refusal to proceed on posting is termed by Public Service Rules number 04401 as gross misconduct, and the ultimate punishment of which is dismissal from service. 3. In line with the Reverend Father Dr. Hyacinth Elia administration's zero tolerance for indiscipline, the full weight of the provision of the Public Service Rules shall be applied to any officer who fails or refuses or even neglects to proceed on the posting. And it is my pleasure, therefore, to announce to the entire ministry and the public that knowledge management has now been floated as a department. Other background work will be done on this. I know that it will require to pass through other processes according to civil service rules before it can be fully established. But the department needs to take off and offer preliminary services until it is well established according to civil service rules. So we have Mr. Ocheje Sunday, presently in the Directorate of Science and Technical Education. His new department now is Directorate of Knowledge Management, and he will be the acting director.
Relatedly, Dr. Ikan approves the creation of a new department to be called Department of Knowledge Management, to be headed by Acting Director Sunday Ochija. Mr. Ochija was the former Director of Science and Technology Education. The commissioner says the posting takes immediate effect, with handing over and taking over to be completed on or before Tuesday, 27th of August, 2024. Manasa Nongolchia, Benue Television News, Makudi.
Stakeholders have called on the federal government and private sector to develop marketing report for coastal shipping and waterways transposition to enhance movement of cargoes. The call was made at one stakeholders enlightenment program on proper packaging system, an essential tool for agro-export organized by the Nigerian Shippers Council in Makudi. Marta Iku has details.
The Nigeria Shippers Council, charged with the responsibility of protecting the interests of shippers and on matters affecting the shipment of goods, organized the Stakeholders Enlightenment Program to educate importers on the need for proper packaging of Nigeria's produce. The stakeholders present are calling on the Nigerian government to come up with positive policies that will ease exportation of agro products to launch the country as a major exporter of non-oil produce to other countries. They want the Stakeholders Enlightenment Program on Packaging System, an essential tool for agro-export. The Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer Nigeria Shippers Council, Akuta Okeyima, says the Enlightenment Program was put together to address the issues surrounding proper packaging of agro-exports. The CEO, Nigeria Shippers Council, represented by Director, Department of Consumer Affairs, Glory Onojedo, calls on participants at the program to exchange ideas on best practices towards packaging of export commodities, saying proper packaging makes a huge difference.
Whenever concerted effort is being made by government to drive the economy through non-oil exports, inefficiencies at the port occasioned by lack of multimodal transport system, poor access road, cumbersome documentation procedures, and corruption are fingered as the causes that discourage export. No mention is made of other factors such as improper packaging system that makes Nigerian exports less competitive compared to those from other countries. As the guest speakers will soon let us know, packaging of export commodities and finished products is much more than wrapping products. It is a critical element in the export process. Effective packaging protects the integrity of goods, ensures compliance with international standards, and enhances marketability.
The Zonal Director, NSC, Ahmed Yaza, lays emphasis on the need to create packaging centers in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country to make Nigeria's produce exportable.
With respect to the abundant crops that we laid at their own backyard, such as sesame seeds, ginger, yams, mangoes, and orange. And we wanted them to take advantage of the available resources to export for international market and to generate more revenue to the people of our state and to create more employment. We have brought in Nigeria Export Promotion Council, who has told us the ways and means how we can export, package, labeling, and importance.
In a paper presentation on the role of government agencies in non-oil exports, Chief Chukwuemeka Agu, the MD on Nowana Aku Mega Vision, says government must look into creating an enabling environment for exportation of goods, especially as a social contract. Concluding his paper, Agu, among other issues, says Africa should trade among themselves to benefit from continental trade, while government must work to improve on its logistics infrastructures as well as address the lingering gridlock at the Lagos port to connect to global markets.
Once we make trade easier, more trade will do what? More trade will happen. And that is the purpose of trade facilitation. It has severally been said that barrier to trade, when you create barrier to trade, you are creating barrier to development. Nigeria must improve its logistic infrastructure. That is automate work processes and procedure. You know, at the seaport, and also Lambola, then address the lingering gridlock.
The state coordinator, Nigeria Export Promotion Council, Friday Ogiri, presenting a paper on proper packaging system, a tool for agro export, explains some of the challenges that hamper exportation of agro products. He points out lack of proper packaging as being responsible largely for rejection of exportation of products from Nigeria.
This is where we are having challenge. So we are not exporting. Ghana export, we are not exporting. Because of what? Our products are not properly packaged. That's why they come to Nigeria and take yam and export it. Because Ghana is ahead of us in packaging. And every other product. Even South Africa come here and take mango, process it and package it and export it in the name of South Africa. Until we understand this, otherwise we will never go anywhere in export business.
In an interactive session, a Benue industrialist, Gladys Shahu, says Benue State is one of the biggest producers of non-oil exportable products, facing so many challenges, one of which is high taxation. A communique is thereafter signed and adopted by the stakeholders. Participants at the one-day enlightenment program by the Nigerian Shippers Council are drawn from the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Immigration Service, the RSC, the Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Service, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, industrialists, public office holders, among others, who unanimously suggest the establishment of a domestic warehouse in Benue State where agricultural products can be stored for export. They equally recommend that government at all levels should promote processing of raw materials and value addition in order to increase their value for export and create jobs opportunity for unemployed youth. Martha Iku, Benue Television News, Makudi.
Thank you, Martha Iku, for bringing us that update. Married people have been called upon to uphold the biblical virtue of love as foundation for marriages. Pastor Atom Mahora made this call this Saturday in a sermon during the wedding of a Benue television staff, Dondo Gaval and Vivian Agbi at Christian Family Center, Makudi. Correspondent Marty Colonel has the rest of the story.
Love for you is forever.
This is a moment of joy and celebration for family, friends and colleagues of Mr. and Mrs. Dondo Gava as the duo enter a new phase in the journey of love. The couple proceed to the altar to perform the ceremony that will unite them as one. Officiating Pastor Reverend Aton Ahora charged the couple to make the foundation of their marriage to be love.
He says, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. Now, when we think about what the Bible has said in verse 25, it is not, don't treat it lightly. It has given you the standard. Love your wife the way Christ loved the church. Which means with every passing day, as you meditate on God's love or Christ's love for the church, it gives you a model of how you should love your wife.
Then he pronounces them husband and wife.
I now pronounce you man and wife in the mighty name of Jesus. So you may now kiss the bride and do as occasion serves you. So please, give a kiss. Amen.
Fathers of both bride and groom are visibly overjoyed to witness these days as their children come together to become husband and wife. They also advise the newlyweds to remain patient with one another.
You see, they took so many oaths this morning. Well, all rolled up into one. Now, all of those oaths comprised of so many promises. God should help them to keep those promises. That's my prayer for them, and that's my advice for them.
My advice to her or the couple is that they should be patient with each other within the tongue and the teeth. Sometimes the teeth may bite the tongue, but any other thing or anything, they should be patient so that the marriage will do well, will hold well.
The bride and the groom, Mr. and Mrs. Dondo Gava, expressed their happiness at the long-awaited day, which the groom acknowledged was not without challenges.
I feel good, I feel loved, and I have a husband.
The journey was filled with the good, the bad, and the ugly, but I thank God that ultimately we've gotten the best of it.
Families, friends, and colleagues of the couple all pray for God's blessing, favor, protection, and fruitfulness in the marriage. At the reception, the bride and the groom, along with the well-wishers, mount the stage in celebration. Matthew Ikulono, Benue Television News, Makurdi.
Congratulations to the newlywed, and thank you, Matthew Ikulono, for bringing us that report. We'll now go for a brief break. When we return, we'll bring you more updates from other parts of Nigeria. Please stay with us.
Here is a special invitation. The Central Planning Committee and the good people of Benue State specially invite you to the 34th priestly ordination anniversary of His Excellency, Very Reverend Father Dr. Hyacinth Umemalia.
Distinguished guest of honor, His Excellency Senator Dr. George Akume, Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
Father of the Day, Chief Senator Barnabas Gamade.
Mother of the Day, Honorable Mrs. Dorothy Mato.
Royal Fathers of the Day are His Royal Majesty Ochiviri Professor James Ayate, Totiv, and His Royal Majesty John Eligo Dobo, the Ochidoma.
Date 31st August 2024. Time 10 a.m. for Mass. Venue IBB Square, Makurdi, Benue State, Nigeria.
Announcers Reverend Father Tagesa Akpare, Chairman CPC, and Reverend Father Michael Melado, Chairman Media and Publicity.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed new Directors General for the National Intelligence Agency (NIA) and the Department of State Services (DSS). Ambassador Mohammed, a seasoned Foreign Service officer, takes charge of the NIA, while Adiola Oluwatoshin Ajayi, a veteran intelligence operative, leads the DSS. Ambassador Mohammed, a 1999 graduate of Bayero University, Kano, brings extensive experience gained from serving in various roles, including heads of Nigerian missions in North Korea, Pakistan, Sudan, and Libya. Ajayi, a decorated Assistant Director General, has served as State Director in several states, including Bauchi, Enugu, Bayelsa, Rivers, and Kogi State. A statement issued on Monday by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngalale, said the new appointments followed the resignation of the previous NIA and DSS chiefs. President Tinubu charges the new security chiefs to reposition the agencies for better results, tackling security challenges through enhanced collaboration with sister agencies and alignment with the Office of the National Security Advisor, or NSA. The President has expressed gratitude to the outgoing Directors General for their services and wishes them success in their future endeavors. The federal government has declared that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited does not have the funds required to rebuild old pipelines. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Henikin Lokbobiri, stated this at the just concluded Nigerian Labour Summit 2024 organized by the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria in Abuja. Lokbobiri, while speaking about the divestment of international oil companies and the need to ramp up production, emphasized that Nigeria also needs to repair its pipelines, which he said are old, rusted, and expired. The oil minister maintained that the smuggling of fuel from Nigeria to other neighboring countries is because the NNPC imports and sells below the landing cost. On the supply of crude to Dangote and other local refineries, he expressed fear that this may suffer a setback except production is ramped up. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, Monday ordered operatives to track down and arrest the sponsors and killers of policemen involved in the recent procession by the Islamic Movement of Nigeria, commonly known as Shiites. On Sunday, the police reported that Shiite members attacked its personnel during their procession, resulting in the death of 2 police officers with 3 others unconscious in the hospital. The Shiite group, on the other hand, claimed that the police killed and injured several of their members during their procession in the Wuse area of the Federal Capital Territory. In a statement issued by the first spokesperson, Muyiwal Adejobi, the IG condemned the killing of police officers while on duty, stating that those who murdered these policemen have murdered peace. Adejobi vowed to uncover the full extent of the attack to prevent a recurrence of such incidents. He stated that the IG extends condolences to the grieving families and wishes the injured officers a speedy recovery. He further stated that the police require the support of citizens to maintain law and order. Kaduna State Governor Senator Ubal Sani has inaugurated a Skills Development Council for the state, emphasizing his administration's commitment to equipping citizens with the necessary skills for positions in industries and businesses attracted to the state by the government. At the inauguration held at Sir Kashim Ibrahim House on Monday, August 26th, Governor Sani, who will personally chair the council, described the establishment of the council as a clear indication of his government's resolve to address the state's skills gaps effectively. Earlier in his remarks, the Executive Secretary National Board for Technical Education, Professor Idris Bugeji, who was represented by Hosseini Mohammed, commended the establishment of the Skills Development Council and other initiatives aimed at upskilling the state residents. He expressed confidence that efforts would significantly reduce the challenges of insecurity fueled by poverty and unemployment, positioning Kaduna as a model for skills development in Nigeria. Deputy Governor Hadiza Balaribe will serve as the Vice Chairman of the Skills Development Council, while the Secretary to the State Government, Abdul Kadir Meiri, Commissioner for Business, Innovation and Technology, Commissioner of Local Government Affairs, and Agon Chairman will serve as members. We'll go for a break. When we return, we'll join the foreign scene for more updates. Please stay with us.
Here is a special invitation. The Central Planning Committee and the good people of Benue State specially invite you to the 34th priestly ordination anniversary of His Excellency, Very Reverend Father Dr. Hyacinth Umemalia.
Distinguished guest of honor, His Excellency Senator Dr. George Akume, Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
Father of the Day, Chief Senator Barnabas Gamade.
Mother of the Day, Honorable Mrs. Dora Mato.
Royal Fathers of the Day are His Royal Majesty Ochiviri Professor James Ayate, Totiv, and His Royal Majesty John Eligo Dobo, the Ochidoma.
Date 31st August 2024. Time 10 a.m. for Mass. Venue IBB Square, Makudi, Benue State, Nigeria.
Announcers Reverend Father Tagesa Akpae, Chairman CPC, and Reverend Father Michael Melado, Chairman Media and Publicity.
Welcome back from that break. You're still watching Benue Television News at 9. On the foreign scene, at least 21 people, including 11 children, have been killed in drone attacks in the town of Tinzoutin in northern Mali. A spokesperson for the coalition of Tuareg majority groups fighting for independence in northern Mali Monday said that the drones hit a pharmacy and a group of people, leaving dozens wounded. Mali's army confirmed the drone attacks on national television, saying the precision strikes targeted terrorists. Tinzoutin has witnessed air attacks before and as recently as July, when the Tuareg-led groups claimed to have killed a large number of Malian soldiers and Russian Wagner Group mercenaries. The separatists said they killed at least 47 soldiers and 84 Wagner mercenaries in the July attacks, but the army did not confirm that death toll. After the attack, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov stated Moscow's firm support for Mali and its army. The army has claimed that the Wagner fighters are in the country only as instructors, helping the army train. The Federal Ministry of Health in northeastern Sudan said a dam has collapsed as the country deals with heavy rainfall, leading to disastrous flood waters. The ministry said in a statement late on Sunday that the Abat Dam north of Port Sudan had collapsed, killing 4 people in the flood waters and sweeping away homes. He added that resources had been deployed to the area to help those stranded. Reports said the Abat Dam is the main water supply for Port Sudan, the Red Sea city that became the administrative capital as fighting overtook the capital, Khartoum. The Sudanese army has been fighting the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF) since April 2023, a war that has brought mass displacement and hardship to the people of Sudan. Port Sudan and the surrounding area may face serious shortages of drinking water as a result of the dam collapse. Ukraine has asked Belarus to pull back forces that it has sent to their border amid rising military tensions between the neighboring following the Ukrainian invasion into Russia's Kursk region. The latest warning from Ukraine follows 2 weeks of sharpening rhetoric, accusations, and countercharges leveled by Kyiv and Minsk at each other. This at a time when Russia, which counts Belarus as its most steadfast ally, has threatened a firm response to Ukraine's Kursk offensive. Late on Sunday, Ukraine's Ministry of Foreign Affairs urged Belarus to withdraw a build-up of its troops from their border and to stop unfriendly actions. It cited intelligence to accuse Belarus of concentrating a significant number of personnel, including special operations forces, weapons and military equipment in the Gomel region near Ukraine's northern border under the guise of exercises. That's all of our package this morning, but before we go, here's a recap of the main stories. Stakeholders have called on federal government to develop Makudi River Port. President Tinubu has assigned new heads for NIA and DSS. 21 civilians killed in Mali drone strikes. My name is Mercy Upa. Local news will come up next. Bye for now.